Phone addiction, the strong urge to use your mobile device repeatedly.
Over the last couple decades, technology has grown exponentially, essentially putting the world's wealth of knowledge directly into our pockets. The advent of the smartphone has allowed us to stay better connected than ever before, build businesses, find new information from across the world, and just use it as a tool to better our lives. But with every good thing, there also comes the bad, and more people are growing addicted and glued to their devices. The average American spends between 5 to 6 hours on their phone. This has a huge impact in terms of mental health as well as a loss of time. The time that you're spending on your phone could be better used becoming the best version of yourself. What I noticed for me is that every time I went on my phone and went on Instagram or Snapchat or down some YouTube rabbit hole for a couple hours, when I came out, I was a lot more irritable, wasn't talking to my friends and family as well, because my mind was somewhere else and my attention had been diverted. Furthermore, I really felt like I lost a ton of time and felt unproductive. So overall, it left me with a really bad feeling. So the question that emerges is, how do we integrate technology in our lives in a way that doesn't negatively affect our well-being? Here are 7 different ways that I use that I think could help you significantly reduce your screen time. Number 1, track your usage. Now, if you found this video, it's likely you're already conscious of the fact that you're using your phone a lot more than you want to be. By specifically monitoring how much time you're spending on different apps and websites, it can help you better address that issue. Furthermore, being conscious of how you feel after using different websites and apps can also allow you to better address the overall issue. One of the key things to building a habit is creating a goal and monitoring the steps that it takes to get there. So in this turn, it'll help you become more motivated to really curb your screen time. Number 2, creating some distance. Phone addiction is essentially a dopamine reward loop. You have your cue, craving, response, and then reward, just like with any other habit. So this ends up creating a dependency on your phone. One of the key things about creating distance, whether it's leaving your phone in a different room, locking it up in your car, or leaving it at home when you're going out, is that it helps really block this dopamine loop. Now, the key thing that you'll notice when you're leaving your phone behind is that when you feel that cue, you're more conscious of when it comes up. So for example, maybe when you feel bored, your immediate response is to pick up your phone. But now when you get that cue and that craving to pick up your phone, you won't be able to initiate the response because your phone isn't near you. So this cuts up that loop and also makes you more conscious of what things are making you immediately pick up your phone. Oftentimes, phone usage is like a muscle twitch, and you just find yourself suddenly, through muscle memory, holding your phone and scrolling through Instagram as soon as you pick it up. So the important thing here is, by keeping your phone away from you, you can't get caught up in that dopamine reward system because you're not able to pick up your phone. One of the things that I noticed for myself is one of my cues was just simply looking at my phone. If I saw my phone, sometimes I'd start thinking about different things on my phone and it would shift my focus away from the task I had at hand. So one of the key things for me was creating as much distance as possible away from my phone. So I bought a watch so that I don't have to check my phone to see the time. Furthermore, in the mornings, I use an actual alarm so that the first thing I'm not looking at is my phone and getting stuck on that. Number 3, turn off notifications. One of the most detrimental things for me about my phone is that it decreased my efficiency because I noticed that it was taking away my focus and affecting my workflow. One of the key things here for me was turning off all my notifications. Any sound, buzz, ring takes me away from the work that I'm doing. Even if I don't pick up my phone, I feel that shift in my mind that I'm not thinking about other thoughts. So for me, I have completely turned off all notifications. It won't ring, it won't buzz, I won't even see it. My text messages remain on a buzzed mode, and phone calls remain on for me because I don't get that many texts or phone calls, so it's not as big of a deal. And furthermore, I always keep my phone away from me, so I don't hear the buzz of texts, and it's really only a call that's gonna pull me away from something, and usually calls are important for me. So that's how I kind of balance this. You know, it's up to you to be creative on how you want to do things, but turning off your notifications is highly recommended. Number 4, deleting social media apps and blocking websites. One of the important things that you have to recognize about social media apps is they're literally designed to keep you on there as long as possible. The fact of the matter is that the longer you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or whatever you're using, the more money they're making through ad revenue. They're literally using your time and selling that to companies. The main thing that I noticed for myself is that as soon as I did open some social media or YouTube or some distracting website, I would instantly get that temporary dopamine hit that would keep me staying. So a lot of my recommendations actually center around this idea of just completely cutting that out so that you can't even open it to get that dopamine reward. So for myself, I use different programs that block distracting websites, so I can't even go onto them. Now, sometimes I understand that it's difficult to completely remove all social media from your life. And so an alternative that I propose is checking it on your laptop. The fact of the matter is a lot of these social media websites just aren't designed to be as engaging on your laptop, so you do end up spending less time on it. Also, burying these apps on your phone in different folders and making it as difficult to access makes it a lot easier to create some distance between that craving and that response. So sometimes I found myself almost having this muscle twitch where when I was bored, I'd pick up my phone and I was somehow already on Instagram without even thinking about it. But after burying these apps in a bit deeper, I'd get this craving and then it would take me some time to open the app and I realized that wasn't really what I wanted to be doing right now. So overall, just blocking out social media and distracting websites as much as possible will really improve your workflow and decrease your screen time. Tip number 5, setting aside a specific time to check your phone. This method is really helpful in maintaining your workflow. So by setting aside a specific time in the evening, maybe for 30 minutes, to check your phone, answer messages, go on social media, go on Instagram, use those as the tools that you need it to be, and then turning off your phone after that can be really beneficial in reducing your screen time. So that way you have a set time where you know you're going to be able to check it, but then also it's limiting because you understand that, hey, I can only use it for this long, and this is what I need to get done in that time. Furthermore, I'd really recommend putting that time to check it in the evening, because in the morning when you're fresh and you're waking up early, I think that's a good time, at least for me, to really get things done and start the day on the right foot. And you can of course play around with how you want to set aside a time to check your phone. Maybe it's once you leave the house you can use your phone, or there's a certain time in the evening before bed that I want to use my phone. Whatever it is, however it fits in your schedule, but making sure that you're following that and setting aside that time can create that discipline in your life and reduce the amount of cravings that you have for your phone. Another thing I really recommend here is using focus mode. So that way, if you do need to pick up your phone and use like the calculator or a tool, then you don't have access to other apps. So you won't find yourself suddenly scrolling away and on Instagram when you were trying to solve a physics problem. Tip number 6, converting your phone into grayscale. This has literally been the most beneficial thing that I have done to reduce my screen time. The fact of the matter is, when everything is virtually black and white on your phone, things are a lot less engaging. So when I'm picking up my phone to check Instagram or Snapchat, I'm not getting as much of a dopamine hit, and I just don't feel that addiction as much, and I'm not inclined to stay on those apps for a longer period of time. I found that with things in black and white, it was a lot easier to put down my phone, and that really allowed me to reduce my screen time. At first, it might take a little time to adjust because you can't see pictures as well, or can't take pictures as well, and there might be some drawbacks associated with that. But the key thing here is that that's the point. It's not supposed to be as engaging of a thing to use. So if you take away any of these tips today, I really recommend using grayscale because that really helped me put down my phone. Tip number 7, replace your phone with fun activities. I'm sure you've noticed when you're doing something super fun or exciting or engaged in a conversation with someone that has you on your toes, you don't even think about checking your phone. So the key thing here is understanding that by replacing the activities where you're maybe feeling less productive on your phone or wasting time on your phone with something that excites you and keeps you alive, will really motivate you to never even touch your phone again. This takes a conscious effort of going out there and incorporating different activities in your life that make you feel good and make you feel excited. But in the end, it's really worth it, and it takes away from that feeling that you get when you're using your phone for too long. So overall, I'm not trying to say that phones are bad. In fact, phones are literally one of the greatest tools that have allowed us to move so much farther as a society in life. But it's important to be aware of a lot of the drawbacks that come with a phone addiction and address how we can integrate this technology without it affecting our well-being. So if you guys have any other tips, please leave those in the comments below. I'd love to see what other recommendations you guys can come with in terms of how to reduce your screen time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you later.